This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So thank you very much to everybody who's been sending me all the articles and letting me know that Sky Sports have in fact released their pay-per-view numbers, which is a rarity, right? So they didn't put it in any kind of order. They pretty much did it in date order, I suppose. And I had to kind of rejig it all myself to put it into order as to who finished top and etc, etc. Now they went right the way back to 1966, I think it was, for Muhammad Ali versus Henry Cooper. Now that one was 40,000 pay-per-view buys, but there were so many of them. Now bearing in mind that today's era had to compete with the era of like the mid to late 1990s and early 2000s, when boxing, especially heavyweight boxing, was at its tip top. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually drew up a list in order of the top 30, and I did 30 because there's going to be a lot of fights there that people will remember. Some of them are recent, some of them are with nostalgia from, you know, way back when, the 1990s, with the likes of Bruno, etc. So I'm going to go through the list. I'm not going to spend too much time on each one of them, otherwise we're going to be doing like a 2-hour video, and I don't think anybody wants that, right? So I'm going to start at number 30 for the pay-per-view. This is for Sky Sports, of course. And again, I'm surprised by this list. To be perfectly honest, I'm really, really surprised that some of these people finished in the position that they did, and some lower than I thought there would be, and some higher than I thought there would be. And you'll kind of see what it is that I mean as we go through the list. As I said, I'm had to put it through order. It took me a good hour to do so. Anyway, here it is. So at number 30 with 164,000 pay-per-view buys, Amir Khan versus Marcos Maidana, which happened on the 11th of December 2010. Number 29 with 177,000 pay-per-view buys, on the 3rd of April 2010, David Haye versus John Ruiz. And this will be when David Haye defended his WBA world title. Number 28 with 200,000 pay-per-view buys, Amir Khan versus Paul McCloskey, on the 16th of April 2011. Number 27 with 223,000 pay-per-view buys, David Haye versus Audley Harrison, and that happened on the 13th of November in 2010. Number 26, which surprised me on this one. I thought it might be a little bit higher, with 275,000 pay-per-view buys, Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr., which happened at Bramall Lane on the 27th of May 2017 for the IBF World Welterweight title. Number 25, with 304,000 pay-per-view buys, Carl Frampton versus Scott Quigg, which happened on the 27th of February 2016. Number 24, with 355,000 pay-per-view buys, Carl Froch versus George Groves, the rematch, on the 31st of May 2014. Number 23, with 400,000 pay-per-view buys, Evander Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis, which happened on the 13th of March 1999. Number 22, with 420,000 pay-per-view buys, Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, which happened on the 15th of December 2015. And in number 21, with 450,000 pay-per-view buys, Anthony Joshua versus Eric Molina. And this happened on the 10th of December 2016. And number 20, with 469,000 pay-per-view buys, Nikolai Valuev versus David Haye for the WBA world title. This happened on the 7th of November in 2009. So that is the top 20. So we're moving to, the top 30. Now we're moving to the top 20 at number 19, with 474,000 pay-per-view buys for a pay-per-view that people were moaning about. I wasn't. I was encouraging it, but that is what it is. Dillian Whyte versus Joseph Parker. Of course, that happened earlier this year. So 474,000 pay-per-view buys, Dillian Whyte versus Joseph Parker, in at number 19. Number 18, with 500,000 pay-per-view buys, Mike Tyson versus Julius Francis, which happened on the 29th of January 2000. I was surprised that one's even that high, to be honest. Anyway, number 17, also with 500,000, Triple G versus Kell Brook. That happened on the 10th of September 2016. And in number 16 as well, also with 500,000 pay-per-view buys, Anthony Joshua versus Charles Martin for the IBF World Heavyweight title, which happened on the 9th of April 2016. Then in number 15, with 512,000 pay-per-view buys, Anthony Joshua defending his IBF World title against Dominic Breazeale, which happened on the 25th of June 2016. And in number 14, with 545,000 pay-per-view buys, Wladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury, which happened on the 28th of November 2015. And then with 550,000 pay-per-view buys in number 13th place, Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson, the rematch, which happened on the 28th of June 1997. And again, this one in at number 12. Surprised that it's actually this high. 650,000 pay-per-view buys. Prince Naseem Hamed versus Tom Johnson, which happened on the 8th of February 1997. And number 11, with 600,000 pay-per-view buys, Frank Bruno versus Mike Tyson, the rematch, 16th of March 1996. And in at number 10, with 750,000 pay-per-view buys, Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson. That happened on the 8th of June 2002. So that is the top 20, and we move into the top 10 now, with number 9, with 775,000 pay-per-view buys, Tony Bellew versus David Haye, the rematch, which happened on the 5th of May of this year. Number 8, with 874,000 pay-per-view buys, Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, which happened on the 26th of August of last year, 2017. Number 7, with 876,000 pay-per-view buys, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao on the 2nd of May 2015. And number 6, with 887,000 pay-per-view buys, Anthony Joshua versus Carlos Takam, which happened on the 28th of October of last year, 2017. And we're going to the top 5 now. So number 5, with 890,000 pay-per-view buys, David Haye versus Tony Bellew, the first fight, which happened on the 4th of March 2017. And number 4, this is when we get into the millions, with 1,143,000 pay-per-view buys, Wladimir Klitschko versus David Haye, which happened on the 2nd of July 2011. And at number 3, with 1,150,000 pay-per-view buys, Floyd Mayweather versus Ricky Hatton, which happened on the 8th of December 2007. And number 2, with 1,457,000 pay-per-view buys, Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker, which happened on the 31st of March earlier this year. And in at number 1, I'm surprised, it's no surprise, is it? With 1,532,000 pay-per-view buys on Sky Sports, Anthony Joshua versus Wladimir Klitschko for the unified IBF, WBA and IBO World Heavyweight titles, which happened on the 29th of April 2017. So that is a top 30, so obviously a lot of you guys may be surprised, as I was, where some fights actually finished. I'm really surprised. For me, I thought that Anthony Joshua versus Carlos Takam, because the original fight was meant to be with Kubrat Pulev, people were a little bit annoyed about it and said that they weren't going to be buying it. Well, a hell of a lot of people did buy it, and that finished at number 6. Again, with Dillian Whyte versus Joseph Parker. For me, that was a fantastic pay-per-view, and as in before it happened, and all I was hearing was people moaning, but that done really, really well with nearly 500,000 pay-per-view buys. So absolutely fantastic. And again, some high ones that I didn't think it would be. Mike Tyson versus Julius Francis with 500,000. I didn't think that one would be as high as what it is, but hey, it is what it is. So anyway, you drop your thoughts below about all this. Are you surprised by some of these fights in their order? You drop your thoughts below. And how do you think that Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin will fit into this list? How will Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury? I know that's going to be on BT Sport and this is Sky Sports, but I'll be interested to know or hear your thoughts even on how you think it will do here in the UK. So you drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.